back to the Deconstruction.
Woohoo!
Yes, that's right, Jason. Woohoo! Or caca, whatever your bird sounds are. Welcome to day 2 of the Deconstruction. We're so excited to be here. We've had a great kickoff day. Yesterday, if you're just joining us here, was our kickoff to the Deconstruction 2020, right? What does that mean? Well, we have this crazy internet collaboration going on for the next, where are we? We should check the clock. But the teams that signed up for the Deconstruction have been given 48 hours to make something completely new out of something that already existed. And this year's theme, because this isn't the first Deconstruction, is it, Jason?
It is not.
It is not. Every year there's a different theme, and this year's theme is distance. And the topic has been spread amongst all of our teams that have registered. We had close to 60 teams register, almost the same amount of participants, which means there's teams made up of one person or 2 people, or maybe 3 people and a bird. So they're out there creating and making, and we're gonna have a big show and tell tomorrow to see what they've come up with. So we're so excited to share that. On this broadcast, we are gonna meet some of those teams, check in with them to see how their creating's going. And we're also gonna talk to a few other folks that have some really inspired projects, and they've been deconstructing distance on their own.
We're all kind of doing it right now.
We're doing it right now. So this is today, and then we also have another broadcast for you live later today. But let's talk about now. Let's be in the new now, right? We've had so many great experiences with our teams on Discord, which is where we're chatting and we're creating that community. And there's a lot of great interaction going on within teams, but then between teams. And they're sharing their ideas, they're asking for support, they're asking for solutions, and even with the technology, we're finding ways that they're kind of creating and reaching across distance with technology in a good and positive way, and that's super exciting. And we're going to see a lot of that great positivity coming from folks on the internet today. So let's check in with some of our teams. I was just checking my notes down here. We have a team in Los Angeles that is working with puppets and some psychedelic puppets, Neon Monsoon. We're watching your live stream there. Super excited for that. Our friend John Greasons, who we checked in with on the first day, has been doing some pretty amazing pottery. He lifted 20 pounds.
25 pounds.
25 pounds.
Which is really hard.
Which is really hard. I had no idea. And it was very meditative. So John, if you're watching, we really, really, really enjoyed you muscling that clay. Yeah. And we're gonna check in with a lot of the other teams live today, and then online. You can follow us at thedeconstruction.org and use hashtag Deconstruction2020 for us to find your team videos, your team posts, and all the wonderful things that you're making today. Right? Yeah, that's what we like to do. Okay. Let's check in with our correspondent, our deconstruction correspondent, Tyler Hansen, one of the founding members of the Deconstruction. So we're so happy to see Tyler, and he interviewed a group in Boston who have created Minecraft University. So let's go to their call now.
Well, hello, Warren. Thank you so much. My name is Tyler. Yeah, and I'm calling from the Deconstruction, and it's great to have you on our little interview show here. So,
happy to be here.
For those who are totally unfamiliar with this project that you're working on, can you take it from the top and tell us what it is and how you came to be doing it?
So the project is, in a nutshell, Minecraft graduation. Quarantine just locked us away from the rest of the world, so we no longer have any proper social obligations. So we thought, what can we do with all this free time? Well, we like video games, and it would be nice to bring people back together during quarantine to bring a sense of community. So we created Minecraft graduation, which we branded Quarantine University after the memes page that gave us the idea from.
When did you launch it first? What was the date?
When we launched it, I'm sure I could like dig back through the records. I know that I came up with the idea at midnight or at 11:50 p.m. On March 17th. I was working on a problem set that I really didn't want to be doing, and I was thinking, I don't know, my mind was going all over the place, and I thought Minecraft graduation. And I reached out to Rudy that night. He instantly responded because he was also up at midnight, and he said, yeah, let's do it. The next day we bought the domain name for $50, and we just started coding. The website went up about a week and a half later.
Wow. And then how quickly did it grow?
It's funny you should ask. So we really wanted to do this for fun. So we wanted to get like a group of at least friends to go do it. Minecraft graduation, that is. So we posted in 3 Facebook groups. And I'll tell this part of the story later, but like all those posts later got taken down because Facebook thought that they were spam. But we first posted in the BU class of 2020, which is around an 8,000 person group, I believe. We got 300 likes, which is okay. We got like 6 to 10 signups. It was like pretty measly. We posted in BU memes for Normie Teens, which is the Boston University meme page. That got, I think, around 800 likes in a group of 20,000, I want to say, possibly more. And then we posted in Zoom memes for self-quarantines, which is the meme page where we got our name from, and had at the time over 100,000 members. And our post surged up to 2.7K likes, 1,000 comments, all within a span of 48 hours. And it was at that moment we realized we're not like planning a meme anymore. We're really running this event. But we jumped from, I think, 55 signups to over 700, like overnight. And it was crazy because we were getting representation from schools in Egypt. And it just felt like, this can't be possibly real. Like, are we actually doing this? Is everyone on board? And they really were. So we opened it up to spectators, so you can come watch your friend graduate if you're not in the class of 2020. Around that time, we also got messages from high school parents saying, can my son do this? He's in high school. And we thought, well, we'll get back to you on that. And then we made Quarantine University Academy, which is like a high school graduation. We started running Facebook ads for it. I think we're around like 100 high schoolers now. But it was really a phenomenal response.
What have been some of the challenges, though, in this? I mean, I would imagine that growing so fast and having all that, like, you went from, hey, this is a fun idea that we can do, to, oh my God, people from Egypt are now using it.
Yeah.
What have been the biggest challenges, and what have you done to overcome them?
We were worried that if we didn't get enough momentum early on, the idea would fizzle out and we wouldn't be able to get a proper server. We wouldn't be able to recruit builders to build this really big scale project. And we wouldn't be able to get people to tell their friends, because as most things on social media go, once you have a bit of a spark, that can turn into a flame that you can kindle. But if the spark doesn't light anything, you're kind of up a creek. Well, once we had that spark, things started to roll quicker. Like, we were able to find some people who are interested in hosting our graduation, even though that their like hosting group was way bigger than us. Like, we were just 2 people, they were 400, and they said, we still want to help you like host a server. You're like, okay, that's great, because we had so many signups at the time.
And with that, then, what surprises? What are the things that you've been most surprised by?
People's willingness to help. We were, of course, pleasantly blown away by the responses that the post we made on Facebook got, like the 2.7K likes and 1K comments. But also there were people who started immediately messaging our Facebook page saying, can I help build the server? Like, or I have like AWS experience. Can I help like spin up a server instance? Or people just saying, I don't even know how I want to help, but I just want to help. Can I help? And we told them yes. And we have like a logistics team because of those people who like don't have Minecraft experience or like coding experience but want to help. Like, I feel like, I don't want to wax too publicly, but I think it might reflect people's state of mind right now, that they really want to help out with things, but they're just cooped up at home and they can't help.
It's really awesome to see, and it gives me faith in humanity that the overwhelming response is to help. With that in mind, then, do you have any advice for people who would set off to do something like this, and particularly like advice for people wanting to create a collaborative project?
What I would say is that in general, if anyone is hosting a big event where they have a lot of prospective attendees, you can't lead it alone, and you need to recognize your abilities and who can complement them. Finding people who are really good at these things and having the faith to let them run it is a big part of leading a successful event. So.
Final question. What do you see on the horizon now? Have you even gotten to that place to think about, oh, I would do another project in the future? But do you have any other projects on the horizon?
I took a semester off of school at one point to try to launch a startup. And I think if I have more time in the future, I'll hop back into that. If I don't have something to do, I get restless. So yeah, I'm certain there's something on the horizon.
You're doing it and more, and you've given other people a reason to do stuff. So big props to you, and it's an honor to just have a conversation in the interwebs. Thank you so much for joining me in Zoom land, and awesome, Warren.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Cheers, mate.
Sure. Bye.
Yes, there now and meet a few of our teams. There we are. Hi, welcome everyone. Yeah. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh.
Yay! Yay!
Hello.
Good to see everyone.
Let me check and see if we're seeing you.
Okay, I see us.
Okay, great. Welcome. So introduce yourselves for everyone who hasn't met you yet.
Well, I'm Mama, and I'm Eve Warnock.
I'm Wolfgang Warnock Johnston, and I'm pretty much like the big brother.
I'm Archer, and I'm the second biggest brother.
Medium.
And who are you?
I don't want nice toys.
Yeah.
Nice two cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, lovely. Now I can really see you. Oh, thanks everybody for joining us. Welcome to the Deconstruction. What have y'all been up to?
Well, we've been working a little bit with light. So we posted some pictures on Discord about a projection test we did.
Yeah. With paint. Yeah.
Well, we did paint too. We can show that next. So let me pick up the computer. I'll show you a few elements that we're going to do. And that'll just
share
a little
the
bit.
screen.
So I'm going to pick up, I'm going to show that yet. So we set up a projector here and a fog machine. Okay, so projector and fog machine behind you. Yep, the one, it's on the desk. It's a diamond. Do you see it over there? Or Wolfie, can you grab it? All right, give it to Archer. Okay, so then we're going to use the light around our house. So we don't have the sun ready yet because the sun works on its own. And it's close. We're almost there. 7 o'clock is a good time to do this.
Magic hour.
But the other part I want to show is this part. Yep.
Whoa.
So can you see this?
I can.
Okay, so this is a planet we created. I'm going to have each of the boys talk about their parts. So Archer, will you come down here?
Hey, Archer.
So what is it that we made?
I made a spaceship.
Mhm.
And these are the little pods that go over to this battle.
Yep.
That Wolfgang made.
Nice and loud.
That Wolfgang made.
Mhm.
And Orion made.
To make it a planet, and then it kind of turned out abstract because we started having fun. And yeah.
And Orion, what part did you do? Here, Archer, move out of the way.
And I made all this stuff. I didn't make the difference.
They painted all this.
I painted all of this whale, and this is a good whale. That was a bad six.
Okay.
Oh, it looks
Okay.
super cool, guys.
Yeah. Do you have any
Wow.
questions?
Do I have any questions? I mean, how do you ask magic questions?
Yes, so our goal today with the sun is we're going to put this on the wall that I showed you, and we're going to try to get our sun here to shine on our planet that we made. So we're
Great,
going to
and-
reflect it, and then we're going to shine it on this.
So the planet will finally see light.
Yep.
Oh, so the planet will finally see light.
Yep, like Archer is doing right now. See, Archer's doing it right now.
Oh, I love your universe. And who inspired the idea of using space? Or the idea of outer space, bringing outer space inside?
Well, it was actually my childhood, because I was always interested in the sun and the light. The amount of time it took to get the light from the sun was amazing for me as a child. And so when we talked about distance, that was something that really struck me, as like the distance from the sun, but the light is so close in ways. And so then we started thinking about other life forms. And for kids, that's really a fantasy space. So then they started kind of taking it on their own, and how we can maybe meet other life forms through light.
That's beautiful. And now, will any of you appear as humans or other life forms in this experience?
I don't know yet. Tonight
Okay.
we're going to work with the projection, and we're going to see what the media brings. And so tonight we're going to work with the two older beings, Pelham and I, are going to work with projection and try to create these beautiful spaces. And we're going to.
being.
Oh yeah, maybe this one. Maybe the creativity take it too.
That's all we hope for. Well, y'all keep having fun, and we will hopefully check in with you, obviously on Discord, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow.
Yay! Thank you. I'm going to put us on there.
Yeah, good luck.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Bye. So now we're going to check in with another team. Let's hop back to the Zoom room. Hey. Yeah. No, what's up, Jay?
Oh, what team are we talking
Oh, yeah, Jay wants to know what team we're talking to. We're going to talk to Team Five Skins. Arvin.
What's that?
Arf is the Zoom name.
There we go.
We're going to spotlight you.
Hey.
I see you. Arvin, what's going on?
All right, I was getting a coffee refill.
Oh. How's your first 12 hours been?
Hey, it's been interesting. I don't know how much by way of a show and tell that I have for this interview,
That's
but
okay. This is
there's
a lot of
definitely,
people's first time meeting you. So
Yeah,
why not
yeah.
tell us how you're deconstructing distance?
yes, there's definitely something in the shape of a mind dump that's possible. So we would just deconstruct the basic concept is collaborative rhythm making. And where that stemmed from was some mind maps that we shared between each other. Quay is not on the call right now. He's up in beautiful Shasta, out and about.
That's right. And where are you located?
Deconstructing his own time. I am in sunny San Francisco.
That's right.
And so between us, we are rhythm aficionados, and when thinking about deconstructing distance and the need for communicating these days across these great distances, we have all these technological forms of doing it. We're on Zoom now, we're on WhatsApp, we send messages to each other. We sort of step back to ask, is there, because, and Quay, who's a poet and a spoken word artist himself, has this, I wish he was on here, has this nice bit about before the internet, and even before the book, and even before the word, there was the drum. And so we started looking at drum language as a way of communication across great distances, and transposing that to the way that we communicate today. My line of inquiry is on how can we speak to each other in rhythm? What are the kind of prompts that I could send that invite you to share a beat or sounds from your place where you are, perhaps with the things that are around you, grabbing the nearest object, or finding something that's dear to you, making a sound with it, sharing it, but with some common understanding that makes for a language that you can speak and I can understand, or I can speak and you can understand, and how can we invite each other to speak that common language through rhythm? and so we've sort of been exploring different ways of doing that, and big old brain dump here. So many things swimming around. So, well, one of the concepts that I have in mind is a short code, and what a short code is, it's kind of, I guess you could think of it as a low resolution way of communicating a code or a syntax to somebody, and then they come back with information or communication. For example, one thing it makes me think of is we send LOL on a message, and it's 2020, and we all know that means laugh out loud. But, and maybe this is just my age showing, but when somebody sends me an LOL, it's not so much that I just see the LOL and have this sense that they're laughing. I know the person, I picture them, so I can see the person's white teeth gleaming through their dark beard that I know that they have, with a big grin and laughing the way that I know that they laugh. Or my partner, she's in India right now, and I'm stuck over here. That's just the circumstance of the times. So we're communicating over these great distances. And if she sends, well, she's my age and from India, so she doesn't say LOL, she says haha. But when I read that aha, I can see her and feel her. I can see her throwing her head back, and I can hear the laugh. I know she's wrinkling her nose. And so that LOL or that haha actually contains a greater density of information than you might imagine just from those three letters. So that the three letters are low resolution, but the high technology is in all the translation that you do in your head based off of personal experience. That's where the density of information is. And so I guess my question is, what is the rhythmic short code that I could send you? So it might look like 120, 267, and hi. And so if you just get a text from me saying 120, 267, hi, then if we have a common understanding of what this language sounds like or feels like, you might know that you can set your speed or you set your metronome to 120 beats per minute, and then play on the 2, the 6, and the 7 with whatever's sitting next to you. Like I have these things over here. These are my high-tech speakers. That's
Of
ceramic.
course.
And if I stick my phone in there,
No way.
I have speakers.
Oh, Arvind, that's awesome. I really get your concept. To me, it makes me think about when we hear a heartbeat. Like there's certain rhythms with heartbeats.
And so we're trying to collect a bunch of responses from friends, family, you guys, your community and your friends and family, and just kind of let it run wild and spread. And if people get the instructions that we share and kind of make it their own and try and draw these rhythms out from their folks, as long as the sound file is named in a way that we can associate it with the prompt that was given, and it's kind of played over here, or even people could get even creative with it. If you know that somebody's a good drummer or somebody's used to speaking drum language. Sorry, I'm rambling on here. Is this going on too long?
Well, I am getting the sign that we have to wrap it up.
Yeah, okay. So more later. This is where we are.
But this is a wonderful check-in, and we look forward to your show and tell tomorrow. Good seeing you, friend. All right. We are going to bounce out of the Zoom room. Yeah. Oh, that's so great seeing the teams, and thank you all for sharing. And we're gonna check in with 2 more teams after this amazing interview. Let's go to a friend of the show. What a wonderful activist and artist that we have here. I love checking in with them, and let's meet Vanessa Rochelle Lewis. Let's put a call into her, Jay. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome to the Deconstruction.
Hey, so happy to be here.
It's wonderful to be here with you as well. The last time I saw you was at the Medicine Show in Oakland, California.
Which was so beautiful and empowering. I got my life. Thank you for the incredible work you do and the beautiful space y'all created.
That was a beautiful time, and I hope to have it with you again soon. But we wanted to reach out to you through the interwebs today and catch up with you and ask how are you deconstructing distance? And for those who don't know all the work you're doing, just give us a peek into it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Vanessa Rochelle Lewis. I live in the Bay Area, San Leandro, California. And I started an organization called Reclaim Ugly. Reclaim Ugly came about after I found myself being targeted on the internet by a party promoter who used a picture of me to encourage women who look like me not to attend certain events and to like sort of laugh at the audacity of somebody who looks like me wanting to hang out with famous rappers and whatnot. And I wrote about it and wrote about like this idea of ugly and the impact of being perceived as ugly or uglified by certain gazes, like the Western gaze or the patriarchal gaze or a racist gaze, or just this general idea, this general standard of what ugly is. And what does it mean that some people who fall into this standard get excluded or get targeted? And a lot of people reached out to me and told me they had a shared experience. So I started really doing a lot of research on ugliness, uglification, learned that there have been laws to target people who look a certain way, learned that there has been so many forms of systemic exclusion as well as interpersonal violence attached to uglification. And my thought was, really, we're just hurting people because they have bodies. You know what I mean? We're just creating hierarchy based on a very fallacious idea of what is beautiful. It's very circumstantial. It's very harmful. What if we could just celebrate the fact that we exist? And I came up with this idea of reclaim ugly. Reclaim the parts of your body and your identity that has been uglified for some purpose, and love that part of yourself, embrace that part of yourself, celebrate it. That's right, hug it.
Hug.
On top of that, why not collaborate with other people to create a world where nobody experiences uglification? Nobody is excluded or encouraged to change a part of themselves so that they can fit in with other people or fit in with the dominant culture. So our like little tagline is uplift, glorify, love yourself, and create a world where everyone can as well. And what I realized in the process of doing this work is that reclaiming ugly and fighting uglification is suicide prevention. It's encouraging a culture of self-love and self-compassion. It's anti-violence and anti-abuse. And it allows a diversity of people to collaborate and think about how oppression harms all of us, regardless of our identities or our circumstances or the different ways. So, yeah.
Amen. I love that vision, and I think you have such a voice for it and a vision for it. And how have you had to pivot at all during this time where we do want to be together and working together for that world?
Yes, I have. And I think it's actually been pretty good. At first it was a little hard. Oh, there's a plane right above me. So at first, fly, plane, fly. Okay. So at first it was a little hard. We actually had an event coming up that was going to pay like 30 something artists and interpreters. We were hoping to reach 200, 300 people in community. It was called Ugly the Revival, just this dynamic event full of performers exploring ways that they have fought back against uglification and have learned to love their bodies or their experiences and histories and desires. So when we had to cancel it because of the COVID, I had a mixture of two feelings. On one hand, I was really sad because preparing for it had been my full-time job, essentially, for months. And I had invested so much money and energy and thought work. On the other hand, I felt really grateful to be able to end it before the governor told us to shelter in place so that I can be in solidarity with my community, especially people who might be excluded because they're at higher risk. I am at higher risk. I grew up with asthma and I have hypertension. So it felt good to be able to make a life-saving choice.
I think, yeah, it definitely felt like an ethical choice to have to cancel events, and right?
Yeah, and I felt really proud of myself, even though I fought it. I fought it, and then I was like, no, I gotta choose something different. My board was like, no, girl, we are not gonna do this. We are love bugs. And I'm like, you're right, I'm a love bug. And so what we ended up doing was an online open mic around the concept of reclaiming ugly. And it was so sweet. It was so tender. You know, people from all over the world got to show up. We had people from South Africa. We had people from Great Britain, Australia, Canada, India. Like, so many people came and enjoyed the art, shared their stories. It was very intimate and precious. And it was beautiful to not be stuck and to see what happens when we're open to alternatives and going with the flow.
That's right. I think one of the key elements that there are no experts in this situation, but one of the things I resonated with is that you will have to improvise. Yes. And so I think what you did with your event and is the surprising outcome is that sometimes it is better than we imagined. One of the things that we were sharing about was that pressure, though, to keep being productive and to have events and how to pivot and to improvise and do these things that we had planned. But tell me a little about what you have and how you're taking care of yourself for your future plans.
Well, I want to respond to what you said too before I share a little bit about myself. So, I have an activist history, a movement-based history. And what I've learned as an activist is when something comes up, when something hard comes up, which is always, we have an urgency to create. And usually the people that are doing and creating are often the people who are most impacted, which means that not only is there the stress and the trauma of what's happening in the world, there's also the extra stress of feeling like, gotta do it. And sometimes we gotta do it before we can create the foundations, before we can figure out how to get along with each other across culture. Sometimes we do it at the expense of our bodies and our well-being. And I really see that showing up right now in this period of time with COVID, and it's confusing, right? Because the activism needs to be done. People need the support, people need the help, but I also think this is a really amazing time to self-assess and think, does it need to be me in this moment? Am I truly, genuinely able to do this in this moment? Is showing up causing more hardship for me and my body? Is it causing more hardship for my community because I'm exhausted and we're having conflict and I'm not able to think clearly or be generative? So I really do want to encourage people, not necessarily to slow down if it's not your vibe, but to really think about where you are and to be generous with yourself and to know that even if right in this moment, you're not the person who could do all the things, you could celebrate the people who are doing it. You could bake them cookies, give them a compliment, cheer them on. But don't try to
Yeah.
save lives at the expense of your own well-being.
That's beautiful. Very well said. I think humanity always wants to help and where sometimes that starts is, like you said, just with yourself.
Yeah.
So in closing, what does the future look like for Vanessa?
Ooh, well, the future looks like me writing a book. I
That's
signed
exciting. Is this your first book?
Yes. I mean, I kind of feel like I've written a whole book on Facebook already, but I was one of the first TMI oversharers. Like back when Facebook first started, I was like, yes, let me tell you all my business and all my thoughts. And then when they expanded the word count, I was releasing essays on Facebook. But now I've signed a contract with North Atlantic Press, and I'm going to be writing about ugly and uglification and sharing personal stories about how it's impacted my life, sharing research about how it's impacted many different communities of people, and thinking about how we can resist the urge to uglify ourselves and other people. What's driving me is imagining a world where more people enjoy their lives, more people enjoy their bodies. My thought is the kinder we are to ourselves, and I don't mean this superficial spoon-fed idea of kindness, like not a capitalist kindness, but a genuine, authentic self-reverence and a relationship with ourselves. We're going to be more intentional about the relationships we have with other people and the way we treat other people. I'm hoping to not just work on healing trauma, but like how do we use our imagination to interrupt familiar avenues that facilitate and create trauma.
I'll buy the first copy. Vanessa, it's always wonderful seeing you, whether it's digitally or in real life. And thank you for bringing this rainbow vision and life to the deconstruction. It's much needed.
Thank you, Dana. I really love talking to you. I love your whole team, and I'm just, I feel grateful to be included. And I'm sending you a bunch of love, everybody who's watching. Hug!
Yes, a hug.
Distance hugs.
Well, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I look forward to talking to you real soon.
Take care.
Hi, and we're back in the Zoom room checking in with our teams. And then Joe Awesome in Michigan. So let's start with Amrock. Terry and Steve, and you have a whole team we have some people here, but then there's a whole army of deconstructors working behind the scenes. But let's start here. And why don't you introduce, Terry, why don't you introduce the rest of your team and tell us what you're deconstructing?
You sure will. So I'm Terry Wellingham with my husband and Steve. He and I are celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. We made it this far through 3 deconstructions and a whole bunch of other adventures. And we're really excited to be here for this year's event. With us for this session is Larshay Johnson, and we work with her at AMROC Fab Lab. AMROC stands for the Advanced Manufacturing and Robotics Center Fab Lab. That's run by our nonprofit, the Foundation for Community-Driven Innovation. I'm the executive director for the nonprofit. Steve is the chair. And we've got a great board, some of which are on the project with us, and a lot of great community partners. Our part of the story, we're actually doing a project called Slow Your Roll, and it went through a few iterations. It started out as lowbrow humor. It's still kind of lowbrow. And so we went from a story that told a pretty mundane tale of a poor sap looking for toilet paper, flipped the script and it's become an opportunity to tell an 8-part parable of sharing and rolling with kindness. And we're really excited about it. We've had a wonderful fun time. I'm watching this blow around here. We've had a wonderful fun time, coming up with this collaborative story, and each of our 8-act members is doing their own part of the story. So it progresses through this. So some of them are working as we speak on our live stream. We're doing sessions every couple hours with different members who are sharing the process of what they're doing. And also in between those, we're sharing video of the different events and programs that we do and that our partners do. I'm going to turn it over to Lachey, and I think she can tell you a little bit about her portion. And we're really excited to be here and very grateful for the opportunity to be able to share in deconstructing distance together. So.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh wait, Steve wants to get a word in edgewise.
We'll allow the chair to speak. We recognize the chair.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was just going to give you a little preamble to the thread of where we were going. So we have a number of different partners in our organization that we're working with. They're located in diverse areas of the county. The only thing that connects us is time, right? We're all on the same time schedule. So we do have a cohesive story that we're working through on Slow Your Roll. That it's morphed over these past 24 hours. It started out with a storyline where someone needed to borrow some toilet paper. Another person at the other part of the county had it. We passed it from tile to tile, from frame to frame within a Zoom meeting, and it got a little smaller each time. And finally, when it gets to the end, there's nothing left. So we thought, oh, okay, that's kind of funny, but in this day and age, let's flip it. Let's make it so that we're representing the best of humanity. And as we, a person is running out, his associates add to, pass along the roll of TP, and it gets larger and larger as it goes. So that's where we're at. Now, what we've done that connects it to deconstruction is that each of our members is working in their own little mini project to deconstruct whatever they have and make a method, a process, or a machine to add to that role and pass it to the next person. So yeah, Terry gave you a little glimpse of the one that we're working on. But we're going to pass it over to Lachey, and she's going to tell you about hers.
Yeah, let's meet Lachey. Hello, welcome to the Deconstruction.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, being with y'all, I'm great. Tell me what's cooking in this parable.
Okay, so in this, I play a role as a chemist. Currently, I study electrical engineering at the University of South Florida, and I thought it would be pretty cool to, thank you, join the MROC team where I volunteer occasionally and play a role as this chemist. So I thought it'd be cool to, as I received the empty roll of toilet paper, and kind of this pandemic has made us aware that we actually have hidden talents. We've gone back to homemaking and kind of doing things on our own. And so during the toilet paper crisis that kind of never really happened, I saw a couple of instructables of how to make your own toilet paper. So I'll play a role as to make toilet paper, to learn how to make something that will help your friends and help all of us get through a pandemic. So in the video, I'll end up doing you use sheets of recycled paper that you have laying around, take some water, do a little bit of chemistry where you can add a color to it, make your own toilet paper colors and dyes, and then do something cool like add smell goods to kind of do a homemade toilet paper to kind of get yourself through any crisis and still be humane in the process. So kind of fun, quirky thing, and I'm going to enjoy being a part of this. It's my first year with Deconstruction.
Oh, we're so happy to have you and your
That's
sorcery.
great. We haven't seen what she's been doing yet, so that's absolutely awesome. We're going to be surprised by a lot of this. And Lachey undersells herself a little bit too. She actually has her own company called Bits for Bots, and she develops really fantastic beginning electronics kits for children. There's one of her shields that she made. and they're absolutely beautiful. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
put it up again, Lachey. Let's see it
Sure.
in close up.
Uh,
Oh, hey.
so, yeah, they're designed to work with a popular open source Arduinos that help kids get introduced to electronics. We're just trying to make some fun shapes to get them introduced sooner and hopefully promote the next generation of STEM careers.
And so
I love.
she has our kids that are at the facility, and we always love working with Larche and the other students at the University of South Florida. So we're really, really grateful she agreed to spend the weekend with us.
It's so great to see just part of your team, and we'll be meeting the rest of the team tomorrow during the show and tell. How many folks are collaborating on your team?
We've got about 15, I think.
15.
12
That's
to 15.
amazing.
It varies because the brothers and sisters and the siblings get involved, and
That's right.
before you know it, there's a lot of other people we didn't even know. So, and that's the whole goal. That's what we want. We're having a lot of fun, collaborating on Discord as well. We shared out Five Skins call for more collaborators on our Gulf Coast Makers site. It's just really fun. I can't wait to see them all come together.
We are so excited to see it too. Thank you for sharing your parable with us, and we look forward to seeing more the rest of the weekend. We're gonna go check in with our second team. I love this robo roll. You may have something that more folks are going to use this weekend. Let's switch over to Joe Awesome. Thank you guys. Thanks everyone. Team Amrock. Hi, Joe.
Hi, my face is really big because I've got this whole hands-free situation going on. Here, I'll take it off so you can kind of see. Hi.
Yes. Hi. We'll see whatever you show us. Tell us.
Yeah, welcome.
Tell us what has inspired you this weekend.
So this weekend, well, it's a long trip. We're here deconstructing distance, which I can't think about without thinking of time. Like, how long does it take to get somewhere? How far is it? Those are kind of the same questions, but I think distance has this funny way of appearing simpler than it is. Like, I put on my on the Twitch stream that I'm doing, I put under it, distance is as one of the headings. The distance is the name of everything that's not here, or the distance between, it's the name of the space between the boundary between here and not here. Here and there. I'm gonna put y'all back on for a second while I do some walking around. So, one of those, and that can be kind of a tricky thing to make accessible. The way, clothing seems kind of weird until you think about it as a composition of a bunch of threads. Weaving is kind of some of the original knot tying. Fabric as, clothing as an evolution of armor for not only the environment, but also for some sort of where we are now interior situation, emotional armor of a sense. We have currently deconstructing 3 things. I'm going to switch my camera on so you can see my whiteboard.
Sounds good. And
Joe,
are you deconstructing solo on this one? Are you team Joe?
I am. I'm Team Joe. Loop It's Not a Time is the name of the Loose project, I guess. Well, so that's the thing. If I have a collaborator that's not here, in both a physical sense and also a very technical sense, I chuckled a lot receiving some of our. I'm gonna take y'all with me as a tour as I walk and talk. A tour of the work kind of space here at my house.
What was your whiteboard? We didn't get to see it for very long. What's the plan?
The whiteboard. So you can see the whiteboard is live streaming in facebook.com/Neapolitan Ice Cream the show.
Good.
You can catch all the processing stuff and kind of chewing and digesting live on Twitch, on Instagram. My third, you'll notice 3s, braiding, weaving, kind of a theme.
Yes.
Instagram, you'll see some more surreptitious moments of out in the world, creating or eliminating distance. Part of that for me in terms of tangible things, working backwards from at the end of this, I'm taking apart, so I'll take you down to where I have my textile situation shown up.
Okay. This is either like a really great horror film or a really great cliffhanger.
I know, right? Walking. Comes down because it's a nice day out.
Okay.
So for me, I even came to you. I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson for me. So I first met up with y'all in 2014 for the deconstruction, where I
That's right.
talked a lot about grief. I took apart grief. My grandmother had passed away a few years beforehand, and uh, I was kind of coping with it. Now I am taking apart as part of this kind of distancing thing. So that's my primary collaborator, is somebody who's not only not here physically, but technically quite really not here.
That's right.
I'm taking a number of her handwritten journals that I have that have never been published, from travels in the 30s and 40s. I also have a birding journal from northern Michigan, from Benzie County in northern Michigan, where her grandfather, I still have yet to really identify the handwriting on it, because it's from a day and age that's just lost to us.
That's right.
But there's distance, right? Like if there's distance, like you're technically not here, but also like my grandmother, a collaborator, technically not here. One of our notes I really appreciate in the deconstruction kind of playbook is like looking around and seeing what you have. I have too many
Yes.
T-shirts.
Okay. Do you want to show us
Not
where you
because
are
I
now?
like. Yeah, so I'm in. Let me switch the camera around.
Okay.
So I'm in this basement with Hacked Coin Laundry.
Yes.
And all these T-shirts, which will get taken apart, will get deconstructed
Okay.
into their components of memory. As I talk through this process of taking these T-shirts apart and turning them into a quilt, each square, each segment will have its own story. The reason I have all these T-shirts is because I have all these memories.
That's right.
It's kind of, let's just reach in and pick out memory. Let's pick out this one. What's this one?
Okay.
This one is Only God Can Judge Me.
Okay. Okay.
This was originally, so this one, an innocuous shirt, right? Or like, you know, it's a graphic tee with a message and an image. But it comes to me from a former housemate, a former doctor of mine, actually. Got this on a whim. This shirt was originally many sizes too small, and we made it work. We were traveling through, it was two very weird folks traveling through an unfamiliar area where we were getting odd looks. We decided to just kind of lean into it.
That's right.
One of those, you know, when in Rome.
That's right. Was
Type
a
of
Win in
deals.
Rome
So we leaned right into it.
yeah, convenience store purchase?
Yeah, camouflage of a sort. You know, we wanted to kind of create not only eliminate ourselves from distance in a sense, create the illusion that we were closer to where we regionally were than where we were not. There's other details of that trip that go into the deconstructing of this square, but we'll probably take
Sure.
this square.
And will you be sewing? What's your method of mending these memories together?
So I'm gonna be doing it primarily by hand. There will be, I don't know if there's anything. I think I can do it cutting and tying. There are a couple different ways. One of my housemates here is like a professional weaver, so I may consult with them, but I think it's going to be fairly hand oriented.
Okay.
Lots of tying together, lots of cutting in fringe situations. So some camera back so you can see the part of this. Now, that said, there's all this other fabric that happens, right? On the back of this shirt, all these other
Oh yeah, you got a treasure
items.
trove. Yeah. Well, Joe,
Yeah,
we're
so
gonna have
part-
to catch up
Gotcha.
with the rest of your project tomorrow. But thank you for taking us on this wonderful journey.
Yeah.
And becoming larger
Catch me
than
live any
life.
of 3 ways.
Yeah, we love checking in with you. We love that you're back into the deconstruction again, and we look forward to seeing more of your project on Discord and here tomorrow.
Sweet. Look forward to showing it to y'all.
Thank you, Amrock. Thank you, Joe Awesome, and we'll zoom back to the studio. Thanks, teams.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Thank y'all.
Okay, wow. So many different looks and sounds and methods and processes. How you feeling, Jay?
I was feeling pretty stressed out, but I think we got it now.
So for Team Deconstruction headquarters, that was our first time doing a Zoom live. So thank you all. I think we had a little bit of buzz, but that comes with new territory, right? Well, we're figuring it out. So thank you for joining us on this crazy journey. Our next broadcast is not too far from now. We're going to be back at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. Got a pretty crazy good lineup. We're kicking off the show with G-Love. You don't want to miss that. And then we're going to have DJ Hourglass from Atlanta, Georgia, bringing us some sweet, sweet tunes. And then we have some really amazing deconstruction talks and more team check-ins. So to take us out of this hour, did I forget anything, Jay?
No, let's hear some music.
Great. Let's go to our friend Super Tall Paul, and he's going to take us out of the session. Thanks to everyone. We'll see you later tonight.
Hello out there in internet land. Well, welcome to a live stream. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host for this deconstruction moment. Super Tall Paul is my name. I got the sign that proves it right there. Well, friends, do not dare step away. Because, friends, I've got something to say. Ladies and gentlemen, this next moment will be brought to you by the letter U, because it's all about the fact that you're there watching me right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, come here. I want to show you something. No, down here. Come here. Look, I wanted to show you this. I have this gear down here that allows me to record and loop and layer all my instruments and my voice. I have this gear down here as I hit that button. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I bring to you a tune. I have this gear down here that allows me to record and loop and layer all my instruments and my voice. I have this gear. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It ain't warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And this house, this ain't no home. Anytime she goes away, I know know, no, I know, I know, no, 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 I know. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what's known in the industry as a breakdown. No need to call the maintenance man, because I assure you it's all by design. It would be me anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like you to find in your heart of hearts is to bring your hands together for the most fabulous and wonderful of all the small instruments. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the nose whistle. Yeah, there's that ghost in the machine. I was wondering when they'd be coming back. Ladies and gentlemen, only 20 tickets at the skee ball, at least back in my day. Let's see what you got. Nose whistle, ladies and gentlemen. Such a cute little guy. Well, while we're at the tricks, I feel like I ought to bring you a couple. Sunshine, she's gone. Sunshine, she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, anytime she goes away, anytime she goes away. Hey. Well, do not fret, friends. I've got one more for you. Quickly. Give me a kiss to build a dream on. In my imagination, I'll thrive upon that kiss. Sweetheart, I ask no more than this. A kiss to build a dream on. Give me a kiss to build a dream on. In my imagination, feed my hungry heart. Feed me one thing before we part. A kiss to build a dream on. When I'm alone with my fancies, I'll be with you. We've been just a moment in my imagination. Make that moment live. Give me what you long can give. Kiss to build a dream on. Well, thank you, friends. That's it for me. I've been your host for this moment here. Super Tall Paul is my name. It's so fun to join you from up here, too. Yeah! But especially right here where I can see you so fine. This has been a super fine time at a deconstruction moment. Well, friends, it has been a super good time to be here with you, and we'll see you around. You enjoy your next time. Make it all happen while we get an unwind, right? Yeah.